pay-per-view online, CageTitansFC.com.
Heavyweight with a wrestling pedigree and big power.
From a wrestling background, but this kid can definitely throw bombs with his hands as well.
Oh, yeah, okay. There we go.
Oh, there we are.
Oh, in the vehicle.
I can't hear anything.
You can't hear us?
Careful driving.
Can you hear us?
All right, pull him out.
He can't hear us.
Turn your volume up on your, yeah, let's pull him out and we'll welcome everybody and then he can try to see if he can hear us while we're talking and welcoming.
Yeah. Sounds good. So,
All right.
Hey, cheers, everybody.
Cheers. There we go.
We're back. It's Monday night. We're at Table Titans.
Wow, that's pretty good, man.
We're at the same location, different location though. Different location. How do you think the new setup, those at home?
Johnny, your eyes are sparkling here.
I think it's the camera.
It's the camera. It is the camera.
We're
Then, of
kinda-
course, you sit my bald ass underneath the light.
Yeah, and I
need
got
to,
like the
move back.
reflection hitting the glasses, but
Take the glasses off. You don't need to see.
I can't see a damn thing right now. This is, I am Helen Keller up in here right now, so this is not going to work.
All right, fine. We'll get something. So, anyways, cheers us in.
Hey, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
We're at Table Titans. We were thinking about making this a New Year type setup, but what the hell? We're closing out the year strong. Only got a couple of weeks left, but we're starting off 2023 with a massive card. So welcome to the new setup of Table Titans. Same
preliminary new
location,
setup.
but we're working some things out. So we're here with Michael Polvere, Johnny Cupcakes. I'm Andy Kerz. As always, we got
I feel like I'm a catcher. I'm going to throw the numbers down here. How many numbers am I holding up?
just don't wear a kilt.
Jesus, yeah.
Don't wear a kilt, whatever you do.
What's up, what Willie thinks? What's going on, Pico? So battles. We have battles. Can you give me a thumbs up before we bring you in? Just want to make sure you can hear us. All right.
All right.
Our first
We're in
guest
business.
is here. Boom. Bring him in.
Without further ado, because of the delay, we've got a huge fight card coming up for Cage Titans 57. And one half of the heavyweight title fight that we have on in the co-main event still, or more than that. What's the deal here? I don't know what the
That's one half of the heavyweight title fight. I haven't finalized the order yet.
We were busy before we talked over what's disclosed or what's undisclosed, but Brendan Battles, you are fighting for the vacant heavyweight title at the professional ranks, the first ever Cage Titans heavyweight championship at the professional ranks. And it's a huge fight, probably by far your toughest test to date, most experienced guy that you've fought. He's got 5 times the amount of fights that you have. He's fought on some premier leagues, but this is a challenge that you have been clamoring for since you've been back in action. You've had an action-packed year coming back on the scene, rattling off 2 big finish wins. Here you are. How you feeling just a few weeks out?
Feel great. Camp's been awesome. Everything's falling together and excited, man. Big time excited for this.
Where you heading right now?
Right now, I'm parked outside the gym. I figured if I brought this home, there's no way in hell you're going to hear me. You'd hear my 2 gremlins trying to tackle me. So we kept it in the truck this time.
There you go.
Can't feed him after midnight.
Can't get him wet.
Can't have him on air.
So Battles, when we talked about this fight, not just Jameel Jones, we'll get into that later. It was very important to you that you wanted the toughest test we could find. You came back after COVID, after a long layoff. What's your motivation here for people that are watching, that weren't privy to, our conversations that we had prior to matching this fight?
Obviously it's about fighting the best and making it, each fight is a next stepping stone to whether it may be the UFC, going through that and, try to become one of the best fighters in the world. So in order to do that, you got to fight the best. You got to find the best and constantly push yourself and test yourself and see where you are. And I think, we're doing that on this one where we found a good fighter, just like we found the last one. And I think, we'll just keep on testing it every fight. Just bring it a harder fight. That's the only way you're going to get better. You can have a record of 15-1, but if you don't fight anyone whose credentials aren't there, then you go to the next level. What does that do?
Yeah. I'll be quite honest. Since this fight's got made, I had a lot of, fighters that have kind of come to me like, man, that's a big test for battles out the gate. He should be getting some cream puffs before he's taking this type of test. What message would you have for some younger fighters that think that's the route to go?
You don't know what to work on. You don't know where your holes in your games are. You don't know how to address your next fight and how to get better consistently if you don't test yourself. It's really what it comes down to. I'll compare it to wrestling, but like if I stayed in the state level, yeah, I could be best in the state, but as soon as I go to nationals, I'll get my ass beat. I don't know if I can swear on this. Sorry, guys. But, what good is it if you keep on, you clean up New England, but then when you get to the next level, you go 0-2. What was the point of all of it? You got to test yourself, and I'm a competitor. I'm here. I love to compete. I love to know where I stand. I love to know just who I am. And in fighting, it's combat sports. You find that out pretty quickly where you are. So I think I think the last fight was a test. And I think everyone thought that was a big test. We walked right through that. We got it done in the first round. And I don't think anywhere in that fight was I really challenged. Obviously it wasn't like Gray where I could just have him my way. But I don't think there was was Brendan going to lose this fight moment in that first round. So we take the next step to go to here.
Even Joshua Marsh at that stage in your career, only being 2-1, he had 5 fights already into his pro career, 10 fights.
10 fights.
Triple, that's exact 5 wins, 10 fights into his pro career, and that's over tripled the amount of experience that you had. So you've always kept this trend of wanting to fight people who have been in the trenches, been in those wars, and he gave you a war. That was a 1-round war. You guys were battering each other's faces. You overcame adversity and were still able to get the job done over somebody with that much more experience who was able to match you with wrestling credentials for parts of the fight and be on par in a skill set and pass that test with flying colors. And now you jump into someone with 6 times the amount of fights that you have. And Jamel Jones, who has fought on the biggest stages, and you look at his track record of the opponents that he has fought and beat, he's got an impressive resume of opponent skill sets. Do you think a caliber of this win propels you to be the next wave of fighters fighting on the Contender Series? Being that you're a heavyweight, you'd only be 5-6 fights into the career, but
I would hope so.
You don't need as much of a resume.
I mean, who else would I have to be at that point? It would be my question. Tell me who you want me to fight, and I'll fight them. I think if I win this fight, I should get a spot on a series like that, or at least be in the talks.
And even if you don't get it off, that win, you're going to be holding a championship belt. How important would that be to defend that belt in the interim if you're waiting for a Contender Series type fight or a short notice fight, or would you want to defend it?
Of course. Stay busy. I want to fight every 3-4 months. I know me and Polvere talked. We wanted to fight the week after Thanksgiving. And, we couldn't get that going. It is what it is. But I want to stay active. I train every day. Right now I'm doing double sessions. I wake up at 4, go train, work all day, go train at night. And that's in camp or out of camp. So it doesn't make a difference to me.
So, What do you like know about your opponent, and what excites you about this fight and this opportunity to fight somebody that's so accredited as Jameel Jones?
I mean, what isn't to be excited for? He's another banger. He likes to bang. He's another wrestler. He's got great credentials. He's fought who's who. He's been to the UFC. He's been to PFL. He's fought on the big stage. You know, he's a high-level, high-caliber fighter, and I like to see where I match up to that. You know.
Yeah. What do you got, Johnny?
Are you focused, or do you have any intention on finishing the fight or looking to try to finish the fight in any particular way, or are you just going to take it as it comes?
So we have our game plan and staying, in place. I don't want to give too much away, but it's. I've watched every one of his tapes at least 20 times now, so we know what's coming in, and we've worked diligently to prepare for that. But here's the thing: you prepare for someone else, and you try to focus on just their game. At the end of the day, I have my own game. I do what I do, and I do it very well. So I'm conscious of what he brings to the table, but I'm going to implement my game at some point. And it's going to be my fight from the moment we stop. The bell starts. It's going to be my pressure and my pace.
With you mentioned he's a banger, and he was a two-time national champ in wrestling. I think when you fought Marsh, that news really didn't come out until Marsh was at the press conference. So obviously you knew that about Jameel coming into this. Talk a little bit. I mean, you're known as a wrestler. Obviously this guy being a two-time national champ, like what's that like level comparison for those who aren't really familiar with the wrestling world?
So I don't know his full credentials. I know he was a two-time state champ in high school. I believe he went to he was a JUCO national champ. Obviously, I decided to go to UConn on a full ride. I had multiple offers for football and wrestling, but unfortunately, and this isn't a knock on wrestling, but wrestling doesn't pay the bills. I got a $86,000 scholarship to go play football and a bunch of bougie Nike stuff for free. So that's the way we went. Being a junior college national champ is impressive, but I'd like to know I can't find it, but I'd like to know his high school credentials, because that's what you're comparing. And you wrestled in college, but you paid to go to college, dude. Like, and it just ain't, it's not, no harm, no foul, but to be a D1A football player is less than 1% of those people who play football in high school go to college at a D1 level. To show the type of athleticism and I got there just off my wrestling credentials alone. I wasn't much of a football player.
Wasn't there another wrestler similar to that? Was it Stephen Neal for the Patriots? That was like a wrestler, and then he ended up being a lineman.
Yep.
Nice.
I remember when he choked out Spaz from WAAF too, Stephen Neal.
I don't remember that.
Throwing that obscure reference out.
So, we just saw you fight not too long ago. What can these fans expect from you this go around here, January 7th?
Been new and improved, Brendan. Every time I get in that cage, I show the leaps and bounds. I think if you look from 6 years ago, obviously I had a 6-year layoff, but I was just a wrestler and didn't bring much more to the table. Now I can not only wrestle, and I have my cardio as I always do. I can box, I can kick, I can keep you in the cage, I can take you down, I can fight off my back. Anywhere it goes, I'm very developed, and we work that consistently. I'm a very well-rounded fighter now. Wherever the fight takes me, I'll be fine.
You mentioned we a few times. give some shout out and some shine to the we that's part of the Brandon Battles team. I'm assuming, Local Lobo, your coaches, Jorgen. I see
Yep.
you're training with a bunch of guys. Why don't you give us a little insight on who the we are that you've been working with this camp?
So I'm extremely fortunate to have the camp I do. You got Local Lobo and Banana over at Daniel Gracie. They got that new school in Plymouth. If you're local, check it out. I got Jorgen, Domingos, the crew down in Fall River. I brought in my wrestling coach from high school, Lee Bean. You got my strength conditioning coach, which is the best around, Corey over at Body Strong. Got my boxing coach, Jeff Gonzalez, arguably one of the best around. And everyone in between. I've been very fortunate that everyone rallies together, and it's not just me. People come and they're like, "Oh, we just want to get you ready." When it doesn't matter what time it is. It doesn't matter. I have texts with Jorgen at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm bothering him, and he's always answering. He's always taking care of me. Very fortunate to have the camp I do. You're only as good as your training partners, I feel.
So Jamil helped us out in the comments. 2 times Beast of the East, 2-time Fargo AA, Super 32 champion. So he helped us out with the comments on. I'm assuming that's his accolades. Again, I'm not familiar with the wrestling world. Maybe you can help us out, Jamil or Brennan. What does that mean?
That's impressive. Those are very high level. Beast of the East is one of the arguably most decorated tournaments. Obviously, my school wasn't participated in that. Fargo's a good tournament. Those are all great credentials. He's a great wrestler. He's a great athlete. He's a top level athlete. Everything, if you can see it.
Nice.
I love the preparation you've had going in and the accolades you've given all the training partners and coaches. And I think that it's the right step to take the step up to such a challenge that's ahead of you in Jamil Jones, who is like a serious threat at multiple weight classes, coming up and being the away team, trying to take the gold for his own right. He needs his momentum and is hungry for the championship as well. So I love this fight. I love that it's the first ever heavyweight championship. I can't wait to call it cage side. This is I'm so honored to be calling this. So really great hearing from you.
I'm going to be anxious.
I don't know if you guys have anything else that you want to
Yeah.
Shoot, let me give a shout out because I missed one person. Brandon Conrad, he just won a world tournament. No gi. He's a savage.
Yeah.
Let that slip.
What obviously you guys all respect. Jamil is in the comments. Not trying to, kind of like garner any bad blood or anything, but anything you'd like to say to Jamil as he watches, in regards to your fight coming up on January 7th.
Hope you're training, brother. Let's get it on. I'm not one for the shit talk. I don't care about any of that. We get to put our hands on each other at January 7th. Let's do the damn thing and train hard. Get ready.
All right.
Because we are.
Well, there you have it. I told you, Andy, obviously, before you go, I speak for myself. I'm so excited to have a fighter of Jamil's caliber coming in from out of state to take on you in this fight. I'm so honored that you were willing, after 4 pro fights, to take such a jump up in competition, and you welcomed it. So I'm super honored to put this fight on. I'm so stoked that you guys have decided to give the Cage Titans fans and give us at Cage Titans the opportunity to witness this firsthand. So thank you guys. Thank you, Jamil, who's in the comments, and thank you, Battles. We look forward to seeing you January 7th. Anything parting for you, Johnny?
No, I'm just super excited for this fight. Probably the biggest fight in Cage Titans history's, both size-wise and just monumental, for the fans.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
So there you have it. All right, man. We'll get it back into training or to your family. I think you said you were doing. Jamil said with all respect. So you guys get to get locked in there on January 7th. So we'll talk to you soon. Awesome. All right. Cool. So it looks like we got Amanda. Is Amanda up next? Amanda, I see Tyler just popped up, or do we need to go to Tyler? Oh, there's Amanda. I can barely see you.
Yeah, I'm pulling over so I can get
So
some light.
do you want us to wait till
Driving.
you get to where you're going, Amanda?
Yeah,
and we can bring in Tyler.
Safety first.
Yeah, that's cool.
How long are you going to be? Like 15, 20?
5 minutes.
Okay. So we'll bring Tyler in, and then we'll come back. What you call us back in when you get to a safe spot, stopped, and we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Way cool.
All right. Well, the champ. We got the champ, Tyler Smythe, Butter Knife Smythe. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, man. Thank you for
Great.
being patient with us. You were one of the first ones to call in. We appreciate it. We're trying to get this new studio set up.
No problem.
So here's this opportunity is great. I mean, I guess I'll lay the groundwork. You know, what fight excites me is that for the history of this is the fact that Nate Russell was our champion and he beat Joe Poirier. And then the time came along where Tyler Smythe was ready to challenge for that title. Nate Russell was like, I'm not really sure if I'm going to stick around pro or take any more amateur fights. I don't want the belt to be held up. So give the opportunity to 2 other guys willing to fight for the title. Tyler Smythe came in, coincidentally, also beat Joe Poirier, is the 125 title holder. Then he tried to go on and fight for the 35-pound title. And Nate Russell was like, this kid's the real deal. You were 10 seconds away from winning that title for the record. But Nate Russell was like, you know what? This guy's got my attention. I'm sticking around for another amateur fight. And let's go, Tyler Smythe. And here we go, man. Tyler Smythe versus Nate Russell for the first time ever. You can really say there's no argument who's the best fighter in New England after this fight. You hold 2 titles. He holds 4. It's not like, well, there's another promotion out there that has a really good flyweight. You guys are the 2 best, hands down. How's that opportunity feel for you?
I love it. This is a fight I've been asking for quite a while. It's a fight that definitely gets me excited and motivated to train a little more. So I'm excited to get it on.
Yeah. You know, going back, I'm only going to go to it because Keegan is saying tried. You know, your last outing, you put a clinic on. You went up in weight, fought for the 35-pound title. All but, was it 10 seconds left from winning that?
Something like that, if that.
Yeah. Well, you know, what was that experience like? Because a lot of people were scratching their head. It was like, what the hell happened? What was that like for you on your side?
That was shitty, really. That was it was right there. I had it. I don't know. I just really no excuses. I fucked up and he ended up going home with the belt, but it is what it is. We're moving on and just taking it as a lesson.
Nice.
That's the right way to approach it, taking it as a lesson. You've always been someone who's thrived in the trenches as your style of fighting. You always make it a dog fight. That's how you were able to win the title over Poirier. You tried to bring and implement that game plan against Mapofu, and his experience played through. He's, like we were talking about the last fight with Battles, taking on Jamil Jones, someone who's trying to take someone on who's more experienced. You're near closing in on 10 fights already at your amateur career, have already fought a who's who, yet you're still managing to find amateurs with more experience than you as you're on this run of gold collection. And, you know, equally big as going for 2 titles, in my opinion, is your first title defense. So this is the first time you're defending the title and against Nate Russell, who just so happens to be more deeper into his career, I should say. Someone who was right on the verge of going pro.
Yeah.
Specifically him as an opponent. You said you were looking forward to this fight and asking for it a long time. Like, how do you see those lessons you learned playing out against someone who is a relentless finisher?
Game plan never really changes. Just going to move forward, put on the pressure, and we'll see where it goes. Anything can happen in a fight. I train hard, so we're prepared.
What do you think, Johnny?
I feel like you both have great ground games. What do you think is going to be the difference between you two on the ground? do you see any kind of stylistic things that he does that you do differently or better? Or
I haven't watched too many of the fights. Obviously, I watched when he fought Joe. I fought in that same card. I think that was my first time with you guys fighting. But no, I think he obviously knows what my game plan is. If you watch all the film, all my fights, I wrestle. That's what I do. I get you, I grind you out, and that's obviously what he expects. So we'll see.
Yeah. It's funny. So, you mentioned that you wanted this fight for a while, and you've actually asked me a bunch of times for this. Was it just simply as the obviously it wasn't bad blood because you don't really know Nate. Was it just something in his style or the fact that you want to be known as the best in New England?
Yeah, exactly. I want that number one next to my name, and it's all about fighting the best guys. We're out here. We train hard. We train every day. So why not fight the best guys?
Yeah. Speaking about you're out here, tell us a little about your camp and your team. I don't think you've mentioned the name Evolution Athletics. Tell us a little bit about your team and what you got going on up there.
Yeah, I'm fighting at Evolution Athletics out of Saco, Maine. Nate Libby's my head coach. We got a bunch of guys. We got Mo, we got Teddy, Ben. We got a bunch of new guys fighting on the card. But yeah, we train hard. We train every day. So this is nothing to us. Yeah. You mentioned a couple new guys on the card, or I should say, probably better yet, a new female. Lindsay Kelly's fighting on the card. Amanda is our next guest. Give us a little peek on Lindsay. Lindsay's looking good. She just had her debut in NEF a couple weeks ago. Didn't really end up in her way, but she's excited to get back in the cage and continue to do what we do. Yeah. You train with Beast there. You talk about Mo Kanani. He was a multiple champion in the amateur ranks and doing well in the pros. Is he kind of the motivation? Is he like your team leader, kind of like you following his footsteps? Yeah, a little bit, for sure. Mo's obviously pro at this point, but yeah, we're just following. I'm following his footsteps, really. Fighting the best guys, the amateur ranks, just trying to take all the titles, win fights, get my hand raised, and move on to the next level. There you go.
You've been in some challenging wars, and you've managed to come out on top. You suffered a grueling loss, but you said you learned a lot of lessons in that fight. Going into this first title defense, can you point to a specific lesson that you're really taking home with you to improve in your performance on January 7th? Patience. Just being patient.
There you go. What do you got, John?
You guys cut out.
Sorry. Go ahead, Johnny. What do you got for him?
I'm just incredibly excited to see this action on the ground. I love a high level grappling. It's maybe my favorite part of the game. So I'm real pumped. Are you looking to keep the fight in any particular place on the ground, against the fence, or just keeping them flat? Like, are you practicing any kind of ground and pound or submission techniques that you're looking to hit? It looks like you're not really afraid to give away a game plan. So tell us what we might see you do in this fight.
You're definitely gonna see some cage work. I can tell you that.
That's a given.
So. I'm looking to finish the fight. I want to finish the fight, put on a dominant performance, make a statement, and go home with that belt. That's the plan.
The double leg, is that going to get the job done, or are you working on anything else, or are there any other takedowns that you favor?
Double leg always.
Yeah.
Love it. Keegan said head kicks.
Maybe head kicks.
Rolling thunder.
Actually, I got to give you credit because you did actually when we couldn't get an MMA fight for you, you took on the world of Muay Thai to kind of improve you and get more comfortable striking. What was that experience like?
That was fun as hell. I had a blast doing that. That was definitely a little different. That you guys took away my wrestling from me, so that kind of messed me up a little bit. But it was fun. I'm striking is kind of. You guys know, you see my fights, but I'm excited. I'm excited to show the striking. So we'll see what happens. But I definitely want to just get more comfortable in the cage, just keep fighting, be as active as I can, and just be more well-rounded.
Nice.
I got to say, you're taking the right approaches, the amount of challenges you've taken in this amateur career, the accolades of your opponents, win, lose, or draw. You're learning lessons from them. You're showing improvements fight after fight. And this test is nothing new to that fact. And it's been a pleasure to sit back and call. And I'm extremely stoked for this fight. Who are your, you talked about your training regimen. Who are your biggest shout outs? Any other training partners or sponsors that you want to shout out? Because you're getting kind of close to the professional ranks, in my opinion. Sponsors are kind of going to be a big deal. So go ahead. This is your platform.
Yeah, obviously, big, huge shout out to my head coach, Nate Libby, all the coaches. We got CJ Kelly, Keegan. Keegan helps out a lot with the striking, shows up early for pad work, stays late to train. Keegan's there all the time for us. Coach Kramer. All my sponsors. We got Naughty 40. We got Top Gun Roofing, David Berry Flooring, Harris Concrete Pumping. We obviously Evolution Athletics. Everyone that trains with me, everyone that helps me stay in shape and prepare for these fights. I might be in there by myself, but it ain't. It takes a team. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Hey, do me a favor. Next time you train with Keegan, take him down and throw a couple extra punches for me.
I got you.
Keegan, as I'm sure I think I've shared with you, but Keegan competed on Cage Titans 1.
Oh, no shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he competed on Cage Titans 1. I'll never forget when his name came across my desk, and he was like bench press. That was like his like entry video to get on Cage Titans. It was him like bench pressing and probably chowing like bunch of protein powder and stuff like that. And he was like bench pressing, and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy?" But we threw him in there, and he did well, and he was with us. And before podcasting was a thing, Keegan and I started a podcast probably 9 years ago called the MMA Horn, and him and I used to kind of do this shit every. I forget what day of the week, but we used to kind of podcast. So Keegan and I go way back, and we love to bust each other's balls. So tell him I said hello and give him a couple extra punches.
Definitely, I got you.
What do you got, Johnny? Any parting shots for the butter knife?
No, man, just good training, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I look forward to the fight.
I'll put on a good show for you guys.
I'll always do, bro.
All right, thank you, bro.
Well, thank you for your time, man. You're welcome.
Guys.
All right. So next up, it looks, Amanda, give us a thumbs up before we pull you in. Are you at a good spot? All right, cool. Amanda's in a good spot. So without further ado, we got Amanda she's going to have to help me. Ferreira.
Amanda Ferreira, welcome.
Like Ferreira Rocher.
Something like that.
Okay, cool. I'm going with that. That's going to help me remember.
First time on Table Titans, first time fighting for Cage Titans, making your MMA debut. Just making sure you're in a safe spot. You're not at a red light or anything. We're all good.
No, I'm home.
You're coming home from training, I assume?
Yes.
All right. So how'd training go tonight in preparation for this first amateur fight? It's a big step. And
technically, it's not her first amateur fight.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
all right.
Get to that.
It
It was good. It was a lot of heavy striking, so definitely something that I love. But it was a good night. Larry taught a really good class tonight.
Nice. So you're over at Jake Pillard's gym, correct?
I am, yes.
Nice. How's that going for you? He was a stud in the amateur ranks. I think he just went pro, or it might have been the second pro fight or first. How's the training going over there with the Gorilla Crew?
It's awesome. It's a lot of different, something that I'm not used to, but it's something that I needed. So it was a good change, and I'm glad to get this work. And I'm so excited to get into this cage and start fighting.
So, Andy, I didn't tip him off, but so you had the two amateur Muay Thai fights that you were victorious in. You did have an MMA fight. It's not showing on the record because there were some unique circumstances, to say the least. Correct?
Yeah. It's rumored. I fight at 135. She walks at 160, completely yoked out of her mind. She cut 20 pounds of water weight in 4.5 days. So, it was a little crazy. I think she stepped back on the scale. Fight night at 155. I was 139. So I don't know if there's a reason why it's not locked in, but technically I'm 0-1. I'll take it to the chin. But it's not going to be 0-1 after.
Yeah, it's not reporting, so I'm assuming there might be some controversy. Did they
Yeah.
test out there or something?
They honestly don't do a lot out there. It was Chicago. There wasn't much done out there, honestly. You could honestly walk off the streets and fight.
Interesting. But either way, we're excited to give you a real first time amateur MMA experience with no shenanigans and BS when you take on Lindsay Kelly. You and I have talked for a few months going back, trying to get you a fight. And, you know, with female fights so difficult to find, we were able to get this fight at a catch weight. You know, what are you looking forward to in this matchup?
I'm just looking forward to performing. I think a lot of people go in there, oh, I have to win. Oh, I have to get a knockout, or I have to submit first round, second round. I'm just going in to perform, do my best that I can, and come out victorious.
Nice. Andrew Valdine is in the comments, and he did fire emoji kicks. So I'm assuming that you got some fire kicks. That's what he's getting at?
Yeah.
Nice. What do you got for him, for Andy? Or Johnny? What do you got?
Are we going to see mostly striking on the 7th?
Yeah.
Or are you going to be implementing a well-rounded or diverse attack?
No, it's definitely a well-rounded. That's something that I'm working on for a while now. Not just striking and relying on my striking. Now adding in kicks and adding in takedowns, cage work, everything.
Yeah. So, you know, what would you say your strengths are? Because obviously you did some Muay Thai. Obviously you're at a great ground school with Jake Pillar and those guys. You know, would you say you're a specialist somewhere over another?
Definitely striking is my game. But my kicks are there and my jiu-jitsu is there too. But I definitely like to strike.
What got you into this sport? I don't think in our side conversations we ever really kind of dove into it, but you know, I know you have a son. We talked about kids. What got you motivated to kind of looking into fighting? Was it something post baby to get in shape, or what was it like? What was it that got you into it?
I've been in martial arts since I was 3 years old.
Okay.
I've been in Kempo black belt from 3 to either 12 or 13. Went right into boxing, then just kind of transitioned to boxing and then MMA. So I've been in the game for a while.
And what was that final kind of switch that said, all right, you know what, I'm going to start doing MMA? Like, you know, you mentioned more, you know, Kempo, you mentioned boxing. What was the switch that made you go over to MMA?
It was different. It was something that I had to add to my game, more work. And it was something that I needed. I kind of got bored just striking. So we just threw me into MMA and we've been doing it.
Nice. Yeah. So do you know much about your opponent? I mean, I know she fought at NEF. Were you able to get a chance to watch that? Were you there in person? Because I know you're from up in that area.
No, I didn't get to see. I don't know much about her. I don't think the fight lasted long. So I'm kind of looking at her. She's 0-0. You know, you don't know what she's gonna come out with. She can come out hot. She can be a counter fighter. So I'm just looking forward. I got a game plan as always, but you know, sometimes you gotta change it in the moment. So definitely be on the go for that.
Nice. You for the moms out there, what is it like being a fighting mom?
It's hard. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's not, every day's not great. You know, Raiden doesn't want to sit in the gym for 2, 3, 4 hours every single night. You know, he wants to be home playing or doing anything else, but he grinds it out. So I'm thankful for that, but don't let one bad day, one bad week, don't let it get to you. You got to show these kids and you got to be their role model.
Nice. I love, what a name, Raiden, for
Yeah.
you know, the mom who fights her son's Raiden.
Yeah.
Was that your choice of names?
It wasn't, no.
No. But has grown on you?
Yeah. I loved it once I heard it. I wanted to name him Ryder, so it wasn't far off. So
There you go.
And to my knowledge, it's the only
female MMA fight or female fight in general on Cage Titans 57? We always have a saying here that the ladies have a tendency to steal the show. Like you mentioned, you've got like a little bit of an asterisk next to your one MMA fight. You kind of mentioned that you feel like your opponent's 0-0 as well. You're treating it like that because it was not that long of a fight. But what's your message to the MMA fans, knowing that you guys might be early in your career, but we're all passionate about women's MMA just as much as men's MMA. So what's your message to the fans of why they should draw their eyes to your fight specifically?
We're going to come out and we're going to bang. Women's always steal the show. So we're definitely going to come and take that show. I know she's training hard. She comes from a good camp. So I don't expect her to come in and be a slouch or just let me walk all over. So it's definitely going to be a good time, but definitely big fireworks. So I'm excited.
Do you see this fight ending in any particular way?
No, it can get nitty gritty. It can go all three. It can go 10 seconds. It's a fight game. It can go anyway.
Nice. Well, interesting. I'm excited because, again, like I said, you and I have been talking for probably 6-7 months trying to make something finally happen. And then it was like every time we were super close, it was like, oh no. And we're finally here. And like Andy said, the female fights always tend to bring it. One of the things that fans always ask me, Mike, you have any women fights on the card? And it's always like, no, not this one. It's something that for whatever reason, the fans love women fights.
Because they steal the show.
Yeah, we take it. We got to out somehow.
Nice. So what, are you a full-time fighter? What do you do outside training and being a mom?
No, I have a full-time job. I'm a client service rep.
All right, cool. What is that about?
I work in a fulfillment warehouse, so I use most of my time is with the client, getting product in, shipping product out, making sure that if we have like big trucks coming in, that they're scheduled and they're going out on time.
Okay, cool. All right. And besides martial arts training growing up, were you I saw your opponent, I think she was a softball player. Was there any other activity sports that you grew up doing?
Yeah, I did a little bit of everything. I played soccer pretty much my whole life. Played volleyball, I think in middle school. And I played flag football pretty competitively as well.
Oh, okay. All right. Not too shabby. All right. So before you leave, any last words for first off your fans, and then secondly to the Cage Titans audience that's going to be seeing you for the first time?
I just want to give some shout outs. Jake Pilla, as always, I've known him my whole life, so I've kind of watched him come up in the game. Now he gets to watch me and coach me at the same time. Doomsday's over there. Brian's over there. There's a lot of great coaches over there and a lot of great training partners. So shout out to everybody over there. Laurent Humes from Rivera Boxing. Aaron Hughes. I think it's Bang Moms, Throw Bombs. Gotta give a shout out to him. He'll hold pads for me whenever. Also Larry over at Gorilla Crew. He's great. I've known him since I started boxing. So it's nice to have him back and with me now as well over at Gorilla Crew. There's a lot of people, but definitely my family. They help me out a lot with Raiden. If I need a break, I'm a single mom. So sometimes I need a break. They'll take them for the weekend. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, Dad, can I get my kid back? He's like, no, he's going to stay. He's in the hot tub. He's doing his thing.
Nice.
So I'm very grateful for my family.
Well, it's good to hear because, I was raised by a single mom. So, when you hear that, I like to hear those type of stories, so good job. Keep doing the thing, fighting the good fight. So lastly, after those shout outs to your support system, what can Cage Titans world, the fans, expect from you?
Just expect a great fight. We're going to come out, we're going to show out, and we're going to do the thing. We're both training super hard. We're not going to come in there and give you a quick little fight and a sloppy little fight. We're going to come to bang.
All right. Not bang hot moms and throw bombs. Just the throw bombs part.
Just throw bombs part, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Andy. Johnny, anything, Parton?
Just excited. I know the ladies always do steal the show, so I wish you luck, good training, and
Thank you.
I
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing the fight in a couple weeks.
I love how you're kind of considering this almost, even though you both have been in there once, you kind of like both taking, at least you're taking this as like your first actual showcase of MMA skills. So it's basically a debut versus debut fight, which is one of my favorite things to call, on top of it being a women's MMA bout. So it's a double whammy of excitement for me. I'm stoked. Welcome aboard the Cage Titans, Table Titans, and looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks' time.
I'm excited. Can't wait to see you guys.
All right. Have a great one. Thank you so much.
Take care. Merry Christmas to you and everybody else in the guests that were there.
I know.
Like we
I
were
love
all
that
festive.
name.
We were all festive around Halloween, but we didn't
Great
say
name.
Merry Christmas to anybody but Amanda right there. But Merry Christmas to Tyler and to Battles.
Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate
Happy
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. Yeah,
everything.
happy holidays. If you
Happy
want to be
holidays.
politically correct, which I usually don't, but if you're offended by Merry Christmas, you probably shouldn't be watching this stuff. I don't know.
It can be everything. Man, some good stuff. You know, we got our new studio as a work in progress. We're messing around with new cameras, new microphones. You know, just trying to raise the bar, not only in Cage Titans through the live show on Fight Night, but trying to do stuff here. So we're going to be making little tweaks over the next couple weeks, and hopefully you enjoy it.
Can't believe that flag is holding up. We have that hung up on like a tiny little, it's not even a screw. It's like this little metal bar that we
Don't
just
jinx
wedged
it.
into the
Don't
concrete.
even say anything.
That is, dude, before this started, you had it hanging,
Dude.
not OSHA
Yeah.
approved.
While we still have an audience.
I want to do we're going to do our
Some trivia.
trivia. We got the trivia.
Trivia.
Yeah.
So let me kill the screen in the other room. Somebody grab the whiteboards
All
off
right.
of the little shelf under the TV.
I noticed where they are.
All right. So yeah, man. So we can keep talking while we get this set up. But yeah, as you see, we're down. We're still at Coops, but we cleaned out a room down in the basement where
Son of a pup.
we Coops go dating back to 2008, 2006. We opened in 2006. We were getting the UFC pay-per-views, and some of these posters on the wall. You know, we got UFC 118. Man, I think we have UFC 100. I think we have some double-digit UFCs too. So
Are we still on?
Yeah, we're on.
yeah, so I thought it would be kind of cool. They can see us. They just
I
so
don't want you guys seeing the answers.
Oh, they won't. I keep it
Oh.
hidden from the camera.
No,
You'd be hidden
okay.
from them.
but
They're
so-
on the TV.
yeah, he's gonna have it on the TV.
I
So
got
I'm gonna
it.
shut off my stream. But yeah, we got some posters on the wall. We're gonna decorate with some Cage Titans art. We got the jersey from when the Bruins showed up. The Bruins were at the Vegas Golden Knights this week, and they got a big shout out on the UFC Instagram. But we had him first. Bergeron. I mean, the other two guys, I forget who their names are. Craig Smith, but he got traded, so he doesn't play in Hall. No, that wasn't Hall. I forget the last one. I mean, do you really need to say anybody else besides Bergeron? Bergeron was there, but we're going to decorate. We're going to build it out, and hopefully, you know, you'll get to see the progression as we move along. So shout out to producer Joe and everybody else that's helped made this happen. Johnny and Andy. We cleaned the shit out of this. We're going to show some video another time of the progression of what we've been doing down here. So we've been podcasting, so to speak. I kind of
If you can call it that, we've been winging it
Yeah.
for years now and having a grand old
2000,
time.
what was it, 2016, 17?
Yeah, I used to drink a whole pitcher of scotch.
We got people, want to tune into a game or something.
All right, you want the game. All right, let's go to the game.
No, so
Johnny.
yeah,
Mike
so
Torrio.
a little bit different than last week. People who didn't get to see it, I'm going to ask these guys 3 questions,
I'm winning.
and you at home should play along as well. We haven't gotten anything worked out for if there's a high scorer yet, but you guys will see the questions at home, and I'll read the answers. I'm going to play a little 20-second music clip so these guys know exactly how long they have to answer a question. And we'll just go around the table one at a time.
Just make it 10.
Yeah,
We'll do
well,
it in
you
10.
know. there's-
All right, let's go.
So
Here we go.
first question, I'll read it to you guys and I'll get it going.
I can't read it myself.
All right. Who was the first MMA fighter to win 2 championship titles in the UFC for 1 point?
2?
Yep.
Like
And the time
simultaneously
starts now.
or 2 just in general?
Oh,
2 simultaneously or in general?
just answer.
2
right, we can't hear you over the music, but it's okay.
This
All
is
right.
fun.
I don't want to cheat.
All right, Johnny, show me your answer, buddy.
What is it?
No,
Ant. Oh, you got the ant. What did you have? Oh, okay.
Mike, who do you got?
Frankie Edgar. Oh,
That's a
I got-
funny sound.
Randy Couture, and then I got Conor McGregor for 2 titles at one time.
All right.
Tim Sylvia.
So the correct answer is Pat Miletich.
Pat Miletich
He won the
won.
Ultimate Fighting Championship welterweight title in 1998, and then the lightweight title in 2001.
Damn it.
First one in UFC to win 2 titles.
He won the lightweight, or did he win the welterweight while it was called lightweight?
He won a welterweight title in 98 and a lightweight title in 2001.
In the UFC? I don't think. Okay.
All right, he did it. Andy's like, yeah, like me.
I'm legit about to dispute this one because I don't know. I
That's
think
all right,
Miletich
that's
was
all
only
right.
a one-weight champion. If I'm
Well,
being
could you
totally
count
honest
Royce
here.
Gracie? He won more than one UFC.
Well, he won. He didn't win the title. He won the tournament, but I don't like. I don't
Save-
know
save
if
it,
Miletich
Andy.
won the
All right.
170-pound title. I'm disputing. I'm throwing the red challenge
All
flag
right,
right
all
there.
right, after the show.
Yes.
Anybody at home get it?
Not right now.
Nobody got
Does
that
not
one.
look like it.
Nobody got that.
Red
right.
challenge flag.
Pat
All right,
Miletich.
next one.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. We had some guesses in there.
Yeah, we did, but not the right one.
All right.
All right, so next one.
Bow.
What city and state was the first UFC event held? 1 point for each correct answer, possible 2 points.
City and state. Oof.
All right, we'll start with Andy this time. Got Denver, Colorado.
Damn you!
Hey, don't change it now.
I was writing a question mark because I don't know.
Oh man,
Mike, what do you got?
I had nothing, man.
Nothing.
I had Mississippi.
I had Missouri, but I didn't know how to spell it.
And they were wrong, so it doesn't matter.
All right, we
Keegan?
got, Andy, Matt,
Yep.
Steve, Rita, and Keegan all got. Well, Steve and Keegan got Colorado.
All right.
So I'm really the champion.
No, we're not done yet. We still got more questions.
I'm smarter than you.
All right, and for our final question tonight, Steve, turn off your TV. All right, next one. What is the minimum length of gauze an MMA fighter must wrap their hands with in order to compete in a sanctioned fight, according to the
How the
Massachusetts State Athletic Commission?
Fuck do you
Rules
jump
and
from
regs.
questions like that?
Repeat that question before you go to the music.
Yep. What is the minimum length of gauze an MMA fighter must wrap their hands with in order to compete in a sanctioned fight, according to the Massachusetts State Athletic Commission's rules and regs?
Minimum amount of gauze?
I'll give you boys a hint.
Oh,
They talk in
no.
yards.
No hint.
I know the yards is the maximum, which is 15. I think I got my answer. I'm gonna go one.
All right, I'm gonna check people at home first.
All right.
Oh.
We got a bunch of guesses.
They're not getting it right.
All right, Mike, what do you got?
I want to say 0.
That's what I wrote.
Yeah. So
Ah!
I still win. You have to wrap your hands.
Yep. 10 yards max. Bill Jones fought and no wraps. There you go, Keegan. I remember that.
You said minimum. You don't got to wrap your hands.
Exactly.
Nice trick question there.
That's a good one. I like it. No, just leave that over there.
Oh, I'll have a piece.
No, we'll just leave it over there. We're gonna be finished in a minute. You don't need to.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
All right. So hey, just so who won? What was the points?
I won.
The points for Andy got 2 points. Mike
And then
got
we
one,
got one.
and Johnny got one. And I believe it's a tie from last week. I think Johnny had 2.
No, I won last week too.
You had you had 3, right, Andy? You got 3 because you got one of the questions that had multiple
Mm-hmm.
points. Got you.
I win.
We'll have to go back and read. But you know what? I want to point out.
And
I
now,
would.
now, Andy, you can dispute that first question if you'd like.
Oh yeah, look it up. Why? I want to remind everybody of a brand new show that we have, Friday Night Fight Picks. We just had the debut this past Friday night. Where
Thanks.
what was that? So, anyways, we did Friday Night Fight Picks for the first time ever this past Friday night. And I wanted to remind everybody who the winner was. It was me. Andy went 3-5. I went 4-4 on my fight picks. And poor Johnny Cupcakes. He wasn't here for the live taping, but he did give us his picks. He'll be here this week for the live taping, but he went 2-6. We're going to keep a running tally on this, but I just want to point out that I was 4-4. And I was the winner of the week, and Andy was 3-5. So he can have this trivia game, but I was the winner of the thing. And it kind of sucked because, well, actually, we would have won. Johnny would have been 3-6, and I would have been 5-4 if Uncle Iev won the fight like he should have, because Andy picked Jan. So
Okay.
I'm saying that we did a little better than this. You would have tied close.
Yo, I'm saying there's not a single thing that says that Pat Miletich won a lightweight championship. UFC 16, he was the UFC 16 welterweight tournament winner. Then in 1998 at UFC Brazil, he won the inaugural UFC welterweight championship, and then he defended the UFC welterweight championship at UFC 18 against Jorge Patino. Then he fought at lightweight outside of the UFC a couple of times, then came back to defend the welterweight championship against Andre Pederneiras.
Some people are saying it could be that Google says Randy.
Yeah, no, Randy Couture is the first.
We're gonna
person to
debate
win
this all night,
multiple
so-
weight classes championships. There's no disputing that. I'm 100% right on that.
If you put it in to Google, who was the first MMA fighter to win 2 championship titles in the UFC? You will get Pat Miletich.
And Google's fucking wrong.
Keegan said Gil. Yeah. All right, he said Miletich, but I don't know. We'll debate all day. Who cares? You still won the damn game, Andy.
He won
It's
the.
not like
we
I'm
should
trying
figure
to,
it out.
say I'm right or wrong. I just put it in Google that way, and that's the answer it gave.
Anywho, Steve Rita, who was the first to UFC from Massachusetts? Are you all right, Steve? Who was the first to UFC?
I think is he being
Do you mean
funny?
like the first to fight MMA from Mass in the UFC to Mass?
No, like UFC, like when you UFC.
He was the first to UFC.
Yeah.
Go to the UFC?
I think
from
it was
Mass?
Steve. I think Steve was the first guy to UFC in Mass.
So Will Asian, it seems like people out there said it was 2 championships, not 2 weight classes. All right, we'll debate that anyways. Who cares? I had a great time tonight.
Steve Rita's flag.
Steve Rita's flag.
We
Shout out
should-
to Steve Rita flag.
He's in
Beautiful
the chat.
flag.
We thought he'd be in the chat.
We knew he'd be in the chat, actually.
Oh,
You did bring up UFC Boston. One of our posters here. UFC in Boston. Couture versus Tony. I remember that. BJ Penn versus Frankie Edgar too.
We'll
We
give
got-
him a little tour, Mike. I'll move the camera over for you.
No, it's
Oh,
okay. No, we don't want to give it to. We don't want to.
Yeah, we
give it to.
gotta some
We-
tightening up.
we gotta
to do
tighten
before
it
the
up a
tour
little bit,
happens.
but I
We'll-
do
we'll
like
give
that
a
the
tour
camera
when
moves.
it's a tour, but
That's pretty cool.
And but yeah, we got all kinds of memorabilia that I didn't bring here today. So I will bring a bunch more memorabilia. We'll get some shelving up. All kinds of fun stuff.
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But there you have it. I mean,
So
Table
far, so
Titans is in the books today. Next week, these 2 are going to be solo. So if anybody wants to come to the studio and be their
Oh, I didn't know
third
that.
guy, you guys are solo next
Oh,
week.
sure.
I'm going away to Vegas to check. My wife bought me tickets to the Patriots versus Raiders game. So we're flying out to Vegas on Thursday to go watch the game.
Very
I wish
cool.
the teams were a little better, but it is what it is. So that will be fun.
It's the environment.
Yeah, so going to be a good time. So it was our anniversary present. So we're going to go out there.
So you're trusting us to run the show, okay?
So
All right,
next
this will be
week, you
fun.
guys are all. We're looking for a guest,
This will be fun.
and we're looking for an in-studio host. If you want to come and join us in studio,
Who haven't we spoke with that would be a good?
Hey, why don't we
person?
go with the opponents? Why don't we go with Lindsay
Oh, opponents would be cool.
and
Mikey De Silva said he might drop by.
oh shit!
That would
See
be
if
an
Jamil
honor.
Jones is available for an interview. And I mean, Nate Russell really
The
ain't
week
much for
before
talking, but if we can get him, for
Oh,
5
it is the
minutes, that'd be
Christmas
great.
week.
Yeah.
It is
So,
Christmas week.
Who's gonna dress up as the elf on the show?
Ooh, who's gonna be Santa? Andy's a Santa.
Fuck that! I'm the Grinch.
But either way, so this week, our schedule for the rest of the week, we got the 12 at 12 tomorrow on TikTok with me. 12 minutes at 12 o'clock tomorrow over on our TikTok channel. Then on Thursday, the 12 at 12 on Instagram. And on Friday, we have Friday Night Fight Picks. We do have a UFC this weekend, so we'll get a Friday Night Fight Picks up for Friday. And then next week, we do it all over again. We are 4 weeks, a little less than 4 weeks to Cage Titans 57. And because I like to give stuff, our next show after this one is going to be March 18th. We haven't announced it yet. We have announced it to our internal team, but our next event date after this upcoming January 7th will be March 18th. So that's it, man. That's all I got. What do you got, Johnny?
I'm excited. 4 weeks. It
4
feels like
weeks,
it's
man.
closer.
4 weeks.
Man, so there's 4 weeks of preparation, or 3 weeks of preparation for the fighters.
Any comedy shows coming up? Any 24-hour League of Legends streams coming up?
Oh, listen, we got the comedy show here next Tuesday. We've got my friend Miss Lottie who's bringing a comedy show in. She was actually on the last show that I put on, so it's going to be nice to sit back and actually perform as opposed to book it. But that's going to be here on a Tuesday night. I think that's a $20 cover, but it's going to be a pretty.
They have a
decent
DJ.
lineup.
They got like some
Listen, this
legit
one's
stuff.
run by a Dominican lady. She's bringing the whole thing. I got the white boy aspect of promoting the comedy show. She brings the Dominican patois to it. It's great. It's going to be a good time. So she's out of Quincy, so it's going to be a fun lineup. It was a good show last time, and then the next one that I'm booked here is January 28th, and that's going to be a Saturday night. But first and foremost, leading into fight week, January 7th is the fight card. Been doing this thing at Main Street Sports Bar and Grill. My man Adam Russell running it there. We're kind of going in tandem, putting on some comedy shows. But January 5th, that Thursday night, right after the press conference, we're going to have a comedy show right there. That's a $5 cover. It all goes to the comedians. It's going to be a really good time as well. So if you're in the Plymouth area, you're coming in to visit an out-of-stater or support, and you're staying in, you need something to do on that Thursday night, come to Main Street. Damn good food, damn good drinks, and damn good laughs coming that way.
Boom. That's all Andy got. Johnny Cupcakes on Twitch. What is it?
Twitch, Cupcakes Gaming, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'm on there, 8 a.m. till question mark.
And Johnny, tell the fans, what are you back in the gym? I hear hailing off
Yes.
a little injury.
Yes.
So
Back
maybe
in the gym.
Cupcakes soon.
Hopefully Cupcakes, that March 18th could be,
Return of the cake.
we could see that.
Oh, shit.
So there you guys have it. That's all. Michael Polvere here. Thank you as always. We are Cage Titans. Follow Cage Titans on all social media platforms to see the most up to date. Cage Titans tickets. Cage Titans 57 is the perfect gift. So if you need a gift for this holiday season, go over to Cage Titans FC.com. And I am the Friday night fight pick winner champ.
Week 1.
Week 1, but we're gonna keep it rolling, Tally. And thank you guys so much. Oh,
That'll be fun to
I
see.
kind of like these boards. No
End of the
monster.
year.
Eat salad. No, I actually only had one monster today.
Monster
So
eats
thank you
salad.
guys. No one wants to listen to us anymore. Have a great night, and we'll see you again next week. Boom.
Hey guys, True Fan Mikey Silver here. Make sure you grab your tickets. Make sure you be here. Plymouth Memorial Hall. It's going to be a great show. If you can't get tickets, buy the pay-per-view online. CageTitansFC.com.
Brendan Battles! Two heavyweights with a wrestling pedigree and big power.